In this video we're going to show you the must-do things to spend a full day in Milos. Number 1, Sarakiniko Beach!
Good morning guys, it is 6 o'clock in the morning. We're very early, we're both feeling a bit worse for wear. We had a horrible sleep. We had some rowdy neighbours next door. Where we're staying is kind of like, I'd say on a farm, but not a farm, but there's just not a lot around it, so when people are loud it really kind of carries. It literally sounded like they were on our front porch, but nonetheless we managed to get a few hours and we're up bright and early today heading to Sarakiniko Beach, which aside from Cleftico is probably the second most famous spot here in Milos. It's known for looking kind of like the surface of the moon, which is pretty cool. Get some big crowds during the day. We actually rode past it yesterday in the boat. You can see the crowds of people waiting to cliff jump. So we got here bright and early so we can kind of check it out before the crowds arrive. Guys, we've done it. We've finally seen our first sunrise of the trip. Let's go. Guys, we're really testing out our joints on this landscape. My knees had a good test. Same ankles had a couple tests.
The benefit of actually going to the moon for this kind of landscape is that the gravity is different and easier on the joints.
Yeah.
Guys, this is definitely a spot that I've been waiting to come to for a long time. Ever since Stacey and I started organising this year-long travel journey and researching Milos, it's been on the top of my list, mostly because it really does resemble the landscape of the moon. What makes it so special is that the rocks are like chalk white in colour, and then you contrast that against the really bright blue water that this island seems to offer. It just makes it so much more amazing to see the difference, light versus dark. And I believe that Sarakiniko is also named after pirates that used to reside here or hide here. And unrelated, there's even a shipwreck around the corner that you can go and snorkel and explore, and we got some pretty cool footage of it. It is just such a cool spot. And this iconic lunar landscape is shaped by nature. The north winds blow the waves through and smooths and carves out the rock into this moon-like scenic wonderland moonscape. It's a very popular place. It's no surprise that photo shoots have been done here because it is such a spot that is so unique. It's not like anything I've ever been to before. So there's plenty of places you can cliff jump from in Sarakiniko Beach. The really cool thing is you cliff jump, and then to get out you have to go underneath through a cave.
Right, so you cliff jump in and then you can come through this little cave bit, and that's how you climb out.
So it just keeps on giving. It gives lunar landscape, it gives cliff jumping, it gives caves.
Refreshing water.
It's a good time.
That was awesome. Guys, this place is just absolutely unreal. Faced my fear of heights, jumped off the cliff I don't even know how many times. I'm gonna say at least 10. I got rushed off a couple of times as well. The water is just like the perfect temperature. I cannot even explain how beautiful this is. It's just absolutely beautiful. And you know what? It's almost 9 o'clock. Crowds aren't too bad here, so definitely happy we got here early. Definitely warm enough outside to be going in the water, and the water, like I said, is a beautiful temperature as well, which always helps, but it's just crazy. We only jumped off the smaller bit, but people were jumping off the very top because they're crazy. But it's just such a nice spot. It's probably going up there with one of my favourite spots on the trip so far.
Sarakiniko is a must visit.
Guys, just look at this water. Like, I cannot think of anything more cool than jumping off that cliff, and then to get out, you come through this little like cave thing. It's just so cool. And when I was last in that little cave bit, I saw heaps of fish under the water as well. It's just so beautiful here. It's the colour of the water matches my hat for sure.
And if cliff jumping's not for you, there's even a little swimming area just to the right of the cliff jumping area. It really has it all, except the whole like zero gravity thing.
Guys, Rosh is gonna have to drag me out of this water kicking and screaming because it is so hot and the water is so beautiful. The colour of the water here is just insane. My favourite thing to do on holidays is swim. And aside from the Budapest baths, Milos has been the first spot where we've actually been able to properly swim. It's our last day, so I'm going to be milking every single second I can in the water. Guys, as beautiful as Sarakiniko Beach is, I'm sure there are plenty other beautiful spots on Milos that we need to see, so we're off to spot 2.
And getting us to stop number 2 is our little hire car that we hired last night. We said to the guy, just give us the cheapest thing you can possibly give us. And he's like, I've got some good news and bad news. Good news is I can give it to you for €100, which I kind of think is still expensive, but for Milos it's good. €100 for a day and a half. Bad news is the aircon doesn't work, but that is a sacrifice we are willing and have to make when we're on a budget like we are.
It's way better than that 1.5 kilometre walk we've been doing, so...
Yes. So, we will see you at the next destination. Guys, we have come to Papafragus, or at least tried to come to Papafragus Beach. When we got here, there were signs kind of blocking off the entrance to that part of the beach, saying dangerous cliffside. So we were like, okay, we're not gonna go there. But we found, like kind of on the opposite, there's a different cliffside that you can walk down relatively easily. And now we've got our own private beach.
Guys, we've had our first injuries of the trip, both to me. Actually, that's a lie. I got injured in Amsterdam when I crashed my bike. But second and third injuries of the trip, I tried to navigate across the pebbles to get kind of past them to where it would be a bit deeper. Pebbles were very slippery. So I tried walking and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get in a crawling position, that will be better. Regrets. Cut my hand and my toe, which I won't show you because feet are gross, but it stings. They're not bad, but it just stings. Rosh is very concerned. She's setting up the drone as I sit here bleeding out, but whatever.
Guys, not only do we have our own private beach, we have our own private cove.
In our little private cove. It is so beautiful. The water is like green. That's our view right now. Completely not clear. A soul in sight. And look how clear it is. Like, look at those rocks. Look at my hand. Look at my feet. Look at my hand. Look at my injured hand. Look at the rocks. Look at the rock. Guys, this beach, well, it's not even really a beach, but this spot was just beautiful. Obviously, we're literally the only ones here, so super secluded and quiet. I'd say it's good for views, good for taking pictures and videos. Be careful if you go in the water, very slippery. And I wore my shoes in, I wore my Tevas in, because I thought that would give me more grip, and I still fell and still cut myself. So if you can get past the rocks and out to the deeper bit, I think it would be an awesome place to swim for a couple of hours, but just got to be careful on those damn rocks. And now it's time to go to stop 3.
So here in Milos, there are a few different options when hiring a vehicle. You can get a scooter, you can get an ATV, a quad bike, a car. We were thinking of going with a scooter because we thought it'd be cheaper than a car and our insurance covered it. Our insurance did not cover ATVs or quad bikes. However, when we got there, the guy said that in order to hire a scooter, you need a motorbike license, which we don't have. So that limited us to either ATV, quad bike or car. So we went with the safe, more expensive bet. in getting a car. Like, the roads here can be really narrow, so that's where the car is really tricky. Like last night when we were going back from the higher place to our accommodation, it was like millimeters between us and another car. So it can be stressful, but I suppose the comfort in knowing that we are insured, like if we were to get injured, is probably worth the stress. For our third stop of the day, we have come to Alogomandra Beach. It's this huge space. We have the main beach over here, and then to the right of some rocks, you've got this like secret, secluded bay type area with more of a little like pebbly, rocky beach sand, I suppose. It's meant to be one of Milos's lesser known, less visited beaches, but I don't really see why. It's looking pretty beautiful to me. Turquoise water, blazing sun, plenty of space to sit down. We haven't really gone to a bad spot yet.
We were sitting over there on a little secret beach bit, and the second we laid everything down, the tide came in. So our towels are now saturated. We managed to grab the camera bag and everything just in time, but it doesn't matter, now we're in. And the water, again, as beautiful as ever.
Guys, that little cove over there that we sat in originally is so cool. You're like shaded by nature with the huge like volcanic rock covering you up. It was a pretty cool spot. Probably not worth sacrificing all our camera equipment. And we're trying to do some sort of like little shop here as well on the beach. Not currently open, but it's as though it was kind of made or carved into the rock formation, which is pretty cool.
Guys, next on the list, Plaka Castle. Check out these views. Okay guys, we had such a good morning this morning swimming. We got back to our room about 1:30. Made a pit stop on the way home, got some pasta to cook in our room, which was nice. Had a giant bowl of pasta and then rested for a little bit because we were absolutely wrecked after being in the sun for like 6 hours straight. But now we've gone up 200 steps up here to Plaka Castle. It has an amazing view of Milos. Plaka itself is the capital of Milos, and this spot here at Plaka Castle is meant to be one of the best spots, if not the best spot, to watch the sunset. So I'm not sure if we'll hang around until then, but the views are worth the climb regardless.
Even if you only have one day in Milos, it is absolutely worthwhile and a must-do to come up here to Plaka Castle just to get these 360 views. If you can avoid doing it in the middle of the day, definitely do so. Try to come for sunset. Alright guys, we're on our way back down towards Plaka after visiting Plaka Castle. There are a fair few stairs on the way up and it's quite rocky, rough terrain, so I would advise if you do have any kind of mobility issues, it's probably something that you probably have to miss out on, unfortunately, just because it is a little bit unstable. It's tricky, but if you can do it, I would definitely recommend doing it. Also, a running theme on this holiday is that we have visited at least 3 castles that are not actually castles. Plaka Castle is the third. Just thought it was an interesting fact to give. It's actually a church, a pretty old one in that. And then I believe behind me, which is just a little bit down from Plaka Castle, I think this is the Venetian church. Plaka is like a real classic Greek island town with its cobblestone paths, whitewashed buildings, cats everywhere, and Plaka is known for its really thin paths, really thin roads, so thin in fact that there are no cars. They're too thin for cars to come on. I think that's because of the history of pirates. I don't know why that would stop pirates from coming in. Maybe it was so that they got lost in the streets, but it's pretty cool. Guys, we hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you are, please hit that like button. That makes us really happy. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe. We have one more must-do thing here in Milos. We'll take you there now.
And the best way to finish off the perfect day here in Milos is, of course, a gyros. We hope you enjoyed this video. We definitely did making it. We're traveling the world for a whole 12 months, so make sure you hit subscribe if you'd like to join us, and we'll see you in our next video in Santorini. Bye.